Namaskar to all of you and good evening. It's a great honor and privilege to speak in front of brilliant mind of IIM Udaipur. Without the consistent efforts of Himanshu Dwivedi and his friend Rahul Srivastav, I wouldn't be here. How can I forget the silent consent of all ITNs and IIM Udaipur? Language, we call him Brahaspati. Brahaspati means, if we divide it, then Brahat means big and Pati means planet, the biggest planet of the solar system. That is the meaning of Brahaspati or Jupiter. Brahaspati is also known as Guru, and it is also called a benevolent planet. There are two groups of planets. One group is of malefic planets and another is of benefic planets. There is a mythological story of all the planets, and it was the job of Brahma, the creator, to create the solar system and the life on this planet. In the beginning, Brahma created the sun, and with its impact, earth also came into an existence. This is what we believe. The sun was very hot, and its furnaces, gases, etc. were generating tremendous heat. With the result, earth also started burning and life was not possible on the earth. Brahma knew only Jupiter could divest the heat and made another planet called Jupiter. When Jupiter was created, the Veda says a lot of hurricane happens. Jupiter was like a big mountain. A lot of rains, torrential rains, hurricanes, tsunami, and all over water and water. So all sort of things were happening. With the result, sun's temperature started cooling down, and so the Earth's environment also becomes possible. So life became possible on this earth. This is what we believe. Earth revolves around the sun, all of you know. It takes about 365 days. Wherever Jupiter takes 11.85 years to complete its cycle. Jupiter has its own orbit and it doesn't belong to the Earth's orbit. During its sojourn of 12 years and Earth's sojourn of 1 year, Jupiter comes closer to the Earth. When it comes closer to the Earth, then Jupiter, being the biggest planet, it has the maximum gravitational and electromagnetic pull. With its pull, it starts pulling the sun towards itself, towards the Earth. Let us break this myth also, that sun is stationary in the sky. It is not. Whenever Jupiter comes closer to the Earth, with its impact, sun started coming towards Jupiter, it means towards Earth. That's the time the temperature of the Earth starts increasing. Jupiter normally takes 1 year in a sign, and in astrology, sign is of 30 degrees, and total zodiac, we assume, is of 360 degrees. There is a saying in the villages that the heap of garbage has new life in 12 years, because that garbage turns into fertilizer. And this saying is related with the movement of the Jupiter in the sky. As stated earlier, Jupiter remains in a sign for about a year. This is normal, its movement I'm talking about. During that moment, it becomes retrograde. When we say retrograde, the planet goes backward. Actually, no planets becomes retrograde in the sky. If we are looking in the sky, then no planets becomes retrograde. But astrology is a direct science. Whatever we see from the earth, that is what we talk about. Because you must have heard certain times marriages are now taking place. So we say, Tara doob gaya hai. So you know that particular Jupiter is not visible in the sky, or Venus is not visible in the sky. That's the time, or any auspicious thing we want to do, some in puja or any other things. If the planet's influence is not in the sky, then we don't do. So generally, the same way, when the movement of Earth and the movement of planet, a particular planet, don't sync with each other, that's the time it looks is going backward. Actually, planets don't go backward. But from the Earth, it looks it is going backward. And generally, Jupiter goes backward about 4 to 5 months. But it remains in a sign for a year. And very rarely, it crosses over to the another sign, next sign. And for 1 or 2 degrees, then again it goes back. This is the normal movement of the Jupiter. This is what is happening. What world has witnessed, the movement of Jupiter suddenly gained extraordinary speed during the period of 2018 and 2022. The order of the world has undergone a sea change as the pandemic caught each and every individual unaware, and the governments of the world came to stand still, and death and misery were looming large on all of us. The world will never be the same, and man had to invent new methods how to face this situation if it ever happens. All major changes in the sky, or especially in the solar system, has had direct impact on the people of the world at large. Jupiter's movement in the sky is not normal, and we shall witness many more changes in the coming year. Last time, Jupiter was in a fast-forward mode for 4 years, but now it will be in the fast-forward mode for Atichari for 8 years. Jupiter shall be Atichari or in the fast-forward mode from 2025 to 2033, right? Let us understand what does it mean when we say Jupiter will be in a fast-forward mode for the next 8 years. We have checked the almanac Panchang of 1000 years, and this phenomena has never been witnessed. With the help of graphic which we show later on, we'll try to demonstrate the movement of Jupiter and its fast-forward mode and the impact on the world at large. Before I dwell into the impact of Jupiter for the next 8 years, I am reminded of the movement of Jupiter during Mahabharata time. Unusual movement of Jupiter were noticed during the time of Mahabharata, when it was continuously in a retrograde movement. Little while ago, I had explained what does it mean when we say retrograde. It was retrograde for 6 years. Whenever Jupiter's movement become unduly slow in the sky, then it brought a lot of havoc in the world. Out of many things, Jupiter represents dharma and civilization, And while reciting the Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna tells Arjun, Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavat bharata abhyuthanam dharmasya tadatmanam sarjameham. Jupiter represents information, knowledge, system, order, organization, wisdom, finance, space, gurudom, religion, spiritualism, civilization, sect, etc. Jupiter will remain Atichari for 8 years from May 25 to 2023. During the last fast forward mode, the impact of Jupiter we had seen. What does it mean when I say it is in the fast forward mode? Because we show some graphic also. Let me make it more simple. Assuming an ITN, he is in early 30s and he has 2 children and is posted as a manager at Noida. He is working in Noida and he has 2 children. One is a 10 years old daughter and one 8 years old boy. And his company is very good. He is working in a multinational company and they are very happy with him. He is very happy and his children have got admission. Wife is happy. Things are going very well. And after 5-6 months, company gets another project in Meerut. So company says, since you are very close to Meerut, so please, you can take over this Meerut situation also and keep on working at Noida. He said, fine sir, no problem, and this boy gets some incentive also. After some time, in the meanwhile, he goes ups and down, goes there, comes back, this is what it happens. After 1 year, what he finds, that job is over. Noida job is over. And the company tells him, now we don't have any job at Noida, so please shift to this Meerut. He said, fine. So we'll give you some more incentive and shifted to Meerut. Again, after 5-6 months, he brings his children over there, gets admission, all that. After 5-6 months, the company gets another job, another project somewhere Roorkee. So then this gentleman has to go running around. Sometimes he is at Roorkee, sometimes their children are studying at Meerut. After 1 year, his job is over at Meerut also. The company is very happy with him at Roorkee, and after a year, he finds that he is at Kanpur. After again 1 year, the Roorkee job is over, and meanwhile, he is shifting. Every year he is shifting, and by the time 8 years have passed, he finds himself at Patna. So this is what we are showing here. This is what Jupiter is saying. Now you see this Jupiter. Jupiter enters in Gemini sign and it remains there. It's a 27th video. Please show me 25 video. So sometime in the May, it enters into Gemini sign, which you can see. And after just being there about 54 days, say 5 months, it moves into another sign, that is next sign, Cancer. It remains there about 2-3 months, goes back as I narrated the story. So exactly the same is happening. So what will happen to his family? Just think of it. His children, those are 8 and 10 years old. After 8 years, they will be 16, 18 years old. And this boy, this man, didn't know much about how the children have grown up, how things have turned around, because he was never there. He was there for a while, then he moves ahead. This is what is happening. And so his family, he was a manager when the thing started. Later on, he became GM and senior GM and director. He has taken a lot of growth, but what happened to his family? That is what we are expecting. What will happen to this world? What will happen to this earth? And how this Jupiter is going to have an impact. So now I'll come to my subject. Kavita works with me. So she told me, if you tell technically, then nobody will understand. Although they are all ITians, so better to do something. So I thought, let me create a story so everybody can understand what does it mean when we say it is retrograde or it is in a fast forward mode. Which are the areas which I expect is going to be affected in the next 25 years. And from here, my predictions will remain valid by 2050. A radical change in weather throughout. Jupiter will become Atichari in Gemini sign from 25 and remain in the fast forward mode till it reaches into Aquarian sign, that is 2023. Whenever Jupiter's movement becomes chaotic in the sky, then it has a direct impact on the weather, and the atmosphere of the earth gets highly afflicted. The weather is already going through sea change since last 50 years, and the temperature of the earth is constantly on the rise. Due to this impact, nobody knows when dense forests start burning, hurricane or tornado disturb equilibrium of that place, cyclone is a common phenomena, and even weather pundits comes to know at the last minute. Earthquakes, tsunami became quite common in this world. Sometimes fire suddenly erupts from the lava and glaciers start melting. Atichari Jupiter will raise the temperature of the earth more than 1 degree by 2033. The maximum influence of Jupiter will be felt on different parts of the world. Economists say the Earth's temperature and inflation are bosom friends. If Earth's temperature is increased, then the cost of produce will automatically enhance. It will have direct impact on inflation. That's the first impact of the Jupiter. This is what we are going to see in a very short while, because 8 years is not a big deal. Shift of power from west to east. In major sense, Jupiter represents finance, government and money. Money is the biggest muscle power of the world. US has the maximum money power and its dollar rules the roost of the world. America has given loan to many countries and its dollar is ruling the world for more than 100 years. Many countries either scared of America or prefer to be under its umbrella. In the coming 8 years, from 25 to 33, the world will notice that American financial supremacy will reduce drastically. It may not touch nadir, but its decline will be written on the wall. Shift of power from west to east will happen, and India will also play a major role. Major changes in world's economics. When I was doing my MA in economics, we were taught then the money is such a focal point and the entire economics moves around it. Scenario has changed since then, and corporates have gained status, and the entire government of the world moves around it. It looks like global elites are ruling the countries of the world. More than 20 years back, a big businessman met me, and he was doing very well at that time. He was quite rich, and then later on he started doing business with the government. He told me, I wasted my time, my life. Had I started doing business with the government, then I would have been much more rich. I said, how come you are saying all that? He said, when you are doing business with the government, then you can get their project, then you know what the government is going to do, so you can have total control on it. So this is what is happening. The problem with corporate is that they first think of themselves, shelf money in their pocket. Later on, they may think of people. On the contrary, the duty of the government is to look after the welfare of their countrymen. One cannot expect same sentiments and empathy from the corporates. We make prediction that in next 10-15 years, this trend will change. The people of the world will understand the modus operandi of global elites. Mutation in ecology system. It is going to be an extraordinary phenomenon when Jupiter will remain Atichari continuously for 8 years. It will bring about a lot of change in ecological system. When we talk of plantation, which includes from small flower species to big trees, it has impact on the quality of earth for a long time. Any major changes in weather will bring about many sort of mutation in the earth and its species. If plantation suffer from fungus, then their species may extinct in no time. And if fungi takes over, then earth becomes more fertile and quality of produce enhances automatically. I'm sure you must be aware, fungus extinct the plantation and suffer, and the quality of earth also suffer, and if it is fungi, then it makes it more fertile. We expect the quality of earth will tremendously benefited by this strange movement of Jupiter. Space is the new field of domination. Jupiter is the planet of space. As it is, we are in Aquarius age, which also represents space. Right now, space is open for every country. There is no boundaries as such. That is why a lot of research is being done by each and every country in the space. Space travel is a new field, and many global elites are keen to transport people from Earth to other planets. All developed countries have created their space center, and if ever serious war happens in future, then it will be space war or star war. We all used to watch the same program on television for entertainment called Star War. We predict that by 2050, all developed countries will start demarcating their space in the sky and make sure no other country will dare to cross their boundaries. This phenomena will change the shape of the world forever. New microviruses will create havoc, and science will fight back with new medicines. According to one philosopher, the nature is interested only in creation. When it creates any species, then it loses interest in that creation and start destroying it, and one day that species extinct from the earth. The same rule applies to the human being. Nature is also very compassionate, and if a man is aware, then he can live healthy and long by the help of same nature. But eventually, nature destroys it. Nature destroys its old creation and create new all the time. Darwin's doctrine also talks about the survival of the fittest. It is the responsibility of the organism to keep itself alive for a long time, but eventually it has to submerge with the nature. During Corona period, when the pandemic played a havoc role throughout the world, many pharmacies came out with medicines and Corona's miseries were controlled successfully. On the contrary, the world has not found the permanent cure for common diseases like blood pressure, diabetes, cold and cough. During this period, 25 to 33, when Jupiter will be Atichari, then lot of microviruses will be there and create a dangerous situation. But medicines will also be there, and we do not expect another pandemic so soon. Sudden spiritual development throughout the world and consciousness will take central stage. Jupiter, primarily a religious spiritual planet, last time when pandemic has engulfed the entire world, then one could hear from ordinary human being that karma theory is playing big role. Many atheists also started talking about destiny when fear of death looms large all over us. By the time 2050, we shall see the religion of the world is going through a sea change and people will turn toward spiritualism. Religion is a belief which comes from outside of your being. Whenever you experience consciousness at your individual level, it is always transforming. Consciousness is a big point of discussion nowadays. Some scientists say we are conscious because of our 50 trillion neuron cells in the brain, and their focus is only on the mind and brain combination. We in India believe that each and every cell or tissue of the body is conscious because there is no difference between us and the cosmos. That is why Veda says Yat Pinde Tat Brahmande. In the larger sense, Pind is the body and Brahmand is the universe. But if we talk of neuron or tissue, that itself is a pind, and body which hold it is as good as Brahmand or the universe. The pind is a nanoparticle which has all the qualities to become a universe. That is why Veda emphasize Yat Pinde Tat Brahmande. Dice and gaming. During Mahabharata time, gaming was a main entertainment of kings and queens. Dharamraj Yudhishthir was great gambler himself. Now we see gaming, which actually is gambling, become legal throughout the world. Most youngsters of the world are playing this game or gaming, and all the channels are promoting at the same time, and you see children are making their Dream 11 team, etc. Gaming creates a virtual environment which looks very real to the player, because it takes you to a different world and suddenly you distance yourself from the reality. Ancient texts say that this world is Maya, full of Maya, which means unreal. But this hits you when you are gaming or gambling. Otherwise, all the time we feel we are in this world because we run by emotions, feeling, all sort of things are happening. On the contrary, when you are gambling, then suddenly you enter into a virtual world which looks real from all possible angles. All gaming programs are artificial, are artificial intelligence, made by artificial intelligence, and has its own mind. When you play a game, then you don't have to use your brains too much because artificial intelligence has taken their task. When you are chasing terrorists with a bunch of your army which is not at your disposal while you are playing a game, suddenly a door opens but you did not use your mind. Later on, terrorists start firing blindly and your army comes into action and starts shooting at them. In most of the situation, you are not applying your mind and you are transported into a different world, virtual world. And the same way, when Yudhishthir lost his brother, wife and everything, he got a shock of his life. But while gaming, you don't have that shock, because you have a shock, you lose money, but later on you are again engaged in the gaming. What kind of generation we are going to create with this sort of virtual world? That's a question. Over taxation on public and war with neighbor. My subject is a bit serious, so I have to make some serious predictions also. I can't help it. This is how it is. Jupiter represents finance and superiority. Jupiter's Atichari movement in the sky is happening from 2018 onward, and it shall continue. After its first 4 years, and again it will start from 25 to 33, the world is seeing a new trend that the government of most of the countries are suppressing their citizens and levying extra taxes. Once a leader is elected as a president or prime minister, then he or she does not want to leave the throne. And we can see this is what is happening with the Jinping, and the same thing we can see in Russia, as Putin is doing the same thing. Most of the countries are imposing new taxes on the people. Recently, Canadian government has put additional taxes on those people. If water accumulated in drains in front of your house, then you have to pay taxes. Mankind is very fond of war, but if we always talks about peace. In the last 5,000 years, the man had gone into war more than 10,000 times. A powerful country wants to dominate and control the resources of neighboring country. If it does not succeed amicably, then it gets into war without bothering about the consequences. Other countries also gets involved in war by supporting the country of their interest. Russia-Ukraine war is going on for the last more than 2 years. Israel-Hamas is already involved in a serious conflict. During Atichari Jupiter, we see many more wars are happening. However, world war is not happening. Now we are talking of artificial intelligence. Other day, I was talking to a boy who's doing research on AGI in America, and his project is being funded by Google, Apple, Facebook, Amazon, and others. And he told me a few points he's working on. He was telling me the future of AGI is Tenzin, a breakthrough AI model that empathetic and self-learning. He told me few points which are as under. Empathetic responses makes interaction feel more personalized and understanding, which can enhance users' experience and satisfaction. Self-prompting based on seed data. Improved accuracy and efficiency in fulfilling users' requests and enhancing the overall interaction experiences. Advanced 5 Pro AI models integrate multiple aspects of intelligence. The 5 properties models focus on SSAI, QEML, CDALS, PASE, and RTALM, cutting edge AI architecture, improved decision making capabilities, and development and more intelligence and autonomous system, quantum enabled, unprecedented processing power and speed, learning breakthrough in complex problem involved. Conclusion. We are talking about Atichari. We have talked only about 8 plus 8, 8 years. My topic was 8 plus 8 years Jupiter's Atichari. Jupiter will remain Atichari from 25 to 23. Again, it will become Atichari for the next 8 years from 36 to 2043. These next 8 years I did not discuss purposely because right now I wanted to focus on the present thing. But overall, the Jupiter's Atichari will remain for 16 years, 8 years now and 8 years again. We have focused only on the first phase of Atichari Jupiter and omitted the second one purposely. We believe that by the time we reach 2050, we have already entered into a new world which nobody can imagine so far. Man wants to create a new human race. Perhaps he is fed up with the present one. Man wants to control not only earth but sky also, and if he had his ways, then he would like to be the master of the universe. AGI is hell bent to create a new human being and would like to extinct the present one. We believe that lot of transformation of the world and human will take place in next 50 years, 25 years. But if man wants to play a god, then we fear he may end up by creating a Frankenstein. Thank you very much.